From the surveillance of the apartment, not once did you hear Mr. Warren say, "What the hell is going on? Baby this," and you heard nothing. Plotted to his own son. He's been out for 2 years while this investigation is going on, while my daughter and his grandson are resting in a grave. I don't think he should see the light of day until this case is solved.
India Nicole Kinamore was a 26-year-old mother from Cincinnati, Ohio, known for her warm and vibrant spirit. She was a devoted friend who was excitedly preparing to welcome a new baby into the world. India already had a 6-year-old son, Kayvon, who she doted on. In fact, she was in the late stages of her pregnancy as her second baby boy was due to arrive any day. She had already chosen his name, Kayvon Jamal. March 4th, 2023 was supposed to be a day of joy for India. She was actually scheduled to be induced into labor that very morning. Tragically, she would never get the chance to hold her newborn. In the early morning hours of March 4th, 2023, India's Coleraine Township home on Hidden Meadows Drive was attacked with violence. At about 4:33 a.m., a 911 call came in reporting that an intruder had broken into India's apartment through the back door while she, her younger son, and her unborn baby's father, Kayvon Warren, were present. The caller frantically explained that the assailant opened fire. Neighbors would also later recall hearing discharges in the pre-dawn darkness. By the time Coleraine Township police officers responded just 5 minutes later, they found a devastating scene. India had been wounded in the chest. Officers attempted to render aid, but it was too late. She was pronounced gone at the scene, and making matters worse, her unborn child also did not survive.
As detectives continue their investigation, we reached out to family and friends to share more about the soon-to-be mother, and a person, only wishing to be identified as a longtime friend, said, quote, "India is a beautiful lady in and out. To know India is to love her. Her soul is so pure. Any time you're with her, it's always a good time no matter what. When I lost my cousin, she was the first person to hug me and comfort me. I'm so sad about what happened to her. She didn't deserve this at all. She didn't bother nobody. She was all about her family and best friends, and especially taking care of her boy. I pray that her family can find healing and peace. I know it's going to be hard, but they definitely have some angels protecting them now."
India's son witnessed the unthinkable. Kinamore's mother, Terry, later revealed that her grandson was the one who dialed for help after finding his mother wounded, calling Terry on the phone in the immediate aftermath. It is unimaginable trauma for a child so young, a boy who only hours before was excited about soon meeting his baby brother, to now be faced with such a loss.
Her child was 6 years old when this happened, and he was in the house. I got the phone call from my grandson to say, "My mommy has been shot. Somebody is in our house shooting, and my mommy is screaming."
Neither the child nor India's boyfriend was physically injured by the intruder, a fact suggesting that the assailant's target was singularly India and her unborn baby. In the immediate aftermath, Coleraine Township Police launched a homicide investigation, but no suspects were identified right away. Detectives noted there were no signs of a simple robbery gone wrong. As days turned into weeks, authorities urged anyone with information to come forward. The lack of an immediate arrest led to growing frustration and fear in the community. On social media, advocates highlighted India's story, a pregnant black mother losing her life in her own home. Family and friends held vigils in honor of India, lighting candles and sharing stories of her life. They refused to let the case fade from public memory. After more than 2 years of investigative work, a major breakthrough finally came. In August 2025, Colwyn Township authorities announced that they charged 3 men in connection with the 2023 fatality of India Kinamore and her unborn child. The suspects were identified as 20-year-old Robert Ervin, 22-year-old Lamar Suggs, and 30-year-old Kayvon Warren. Each faces 2 counts of fatality, 1 for India and 1 for her unborn baby. Police revealed that Ervin and Warren had been taken into custody and booked into the Hamilton County Justice Center, while Suggs was already incarcerated on an unrelated weapons charge at the time of the indictment. The news sent ripples through the community. After years of uncertainty, at last, there was a step toward justice. In August 2025, 2 of the suspects, Warren and Ervin, appeared before a judge for their initial arraignment on the fatality charges. It was an emotional day in court as India's mother, Terry, bravely spoke during the hearing, addressing the bond issue and the enormity of what had been taken from her family. As details emerged, the revelation of who these men were and why they might have done this only deepened the tragedy. A search of social media even showed that following India's passing, Warren posted photos from their maternity photo shoot pretending to honor her life. At the time of his arrest, his cover photo was still a photo of the 2 from that same shoot. The 2 other suspects, Ervin and Suggs, were friends or associates of Warren who allegedly helped carry out his fatal plan. The criminal investigation had been painstaking. It involved electronic forensics and surveillance evidence in addition to other components. Cell phone records and communication between Warren, Ervin, and Suggs over the weeks and days leading up to the incident proved crucial. They suggested that the men were actively coming up with a plan to carry out the fatality. The DA noted that there was a lot of intercommunication between the men, and indeed cell phone GPS data and other digital footprints placed them near the crime scene at the time of the attack. Well, we know Warren was inside. Prosecutors also revealed that surveillance video from the apartment complex captured key evidence, including the presence of the conspirators near India's home around 5 a.m. on March 4th. One especially harrowing detail: surveillance footage's audio recorded India's screams during the incident. According to the case that police and prosecutors have built, Lamar Buddy Suggs was identified as the firearm man who actually broke into the apartment and pulled the trigger, ending India's life. Robert Ervin is accused of being a co-conspirator who helped coordinate logistics.
From the surveillance of the apartment, you can hear my child screaming every time she got shot, but not once did you hear Mr. Warren say, "What the hell is going on? Baby this," and you heard nothing.
At some point, the evidence that has been uncovered was that he wanted her to terminate that pregnancy. Ms. Kinamore was scheduled to be induced the same morning as the murder.
It's very unfortunate that this woman was pregnant and she was pregnant with his child, a child that he wanted.
Warren's defense attorney Clyde Bennett asked for a reasonable bond, saying Warren has a full-time job, no criminal history, and has not fled the city despite knowing he was under investigation for the last 2 years.
Someone willing to engage in this level of violence against people that they really care about, love, and with this level of cruelty makes us believe that if he is out, the rest of us wouldn't stand a chance.
Similar to his co-defendant Robert Ervin, here's his defense attorney.
The only tie that he has with this case is from some messages that apparently have the 2 co-defendants in and allegedly have Mr. Ervin in. So he finds himself in a guilty by association situation here.
Prosecutors say evidence shows Ervin parked near the murder and was communicating with his co-defendants in the hours leading up to it.
In the end, the judge set substantial bonds, approximately $600,000 each for both Warren and Ervin. Suggs, already serving a prison sentence on another matter, would be transferred to face the new charges. All 3 remain in custody as they await trial and as of the time of this video. India Kinamore's story is a heartbreaking example of domestic violence turned fatal, and her family is determined that her passing will not be in vain. Terry has become her grandson's guardian, and she vows to keep India's memory alive for him. Those who knew the mother remember her for the joy and love she brought into their lives. They recall her beautiful smile, her passion as a mother, and how excited she was to welcome her new baby. As of this video, the criminal case against Warren, Ervin, and Suggs is moving forward. Coleraine Township Police continue to ask that anyone with additional information please come forward to ensure that all those responsible are held accountable. May the family and friends of India Kinamore find solace in the happy memories, and may her soul rest in perpetual peace. Thank you.